Welcome to our YouTube channel, Research Ready and Student Matters Hub by Doclin. And nakagawa na ba kayo ng inyong introduction? Natapos nyo na ba siya? Dahil nakatulong ba sa inyo ang ating past lesson video? Ngayon ang i-discuss naman natin ay isa pang part ng inyong chapter 1. At commonly, nakikita rin natin ito sa ibang format ng research paper pero minsan hindi. Kasi minsan ang mga schools ang sinusunod nila yung IMRAD. Pero yung mga ibang schools, meron silang siniset na standardized format na kung ano yung hinihingi na format ng kanilang particular school. Ngayon na i-discuss natin is yung background of the study, kung merong background of the study ang iyong research paper bukod sa introduction. Etong dalawa na to, kadalasan, napapagkamalan silang magkapareho, no? But again, in other research paper, they are separated because they serve different purposes. Yung introduction, di-discuss natin siya last time. At pag sinabi nating introduction, the research introduction set the stage for your study by providing an overview of the research problem. So, diniscuss natin yung tatlong elements last time. Una, dapat you understand the purpose of your research para makagawa ka ng introduction. Kasi kung hindi mo alam kung ano yung objective ng iyong research paper, hindi ka makakapagsimula ng iyong introduction. Pangalawa, you have to make a statement that can hook your audience, which will captivate really kung ano yung interest ng audience mo. At yung pangatlong diniscuss natin, dapat mag-provide tayo ng context from macro to micro, which I had also given example, tsaka yung tinatawag nating legal basis. Ngayon, ang i-discuss natin yung background of the study. Makikita niyo yung kaibahan ng dalawa later on. Ano nga ba ang background of the study? Ang background of the study provides more detailed information on the specific context or setting of your research topic. It explains the history, the context, and the previous research related to your study area to give your readers a comprehensive understanding of the background against which your study is conducted. In other words, ang background of the study mo ay yung avenue or way para ma-establish mo yung gap ng iyong research paper. Nung mga past lesson videos na meron tayo, tinuruan ko kayo kung paano kayo makakakita ng gap sa isang research paper. Pero sa background of the study, dito mo na siya ilalagay. Dito mo na i-emphasize at i-explain ano ba yung gap na kailangan kong i-address at yung gap or problem na kailangan kong i-resolve. Pero ulitin natin, hindi dapat natin ilagay base sa ating opinion. Meron dapat tayong basihan. These are published materials or any other legal documents na magsasabi na yung problem na gusto mong i-address or yung gap na gusto mong i-fill ay talagang nag-exist.
Here are the tips for writing the background of the study. First, you start with basic questions. As a researcher, begin by answering fundamental questions about your research topic. So first question that you might ask yourself about your paper is, what is the topic that I'm exploring or investigating? So that can be a starting point for you to make your background of the study. Second, ano mga key issues or debatable situations ang meron dito sa topic ko? So you have to state that. In other words, what are the problems? And third one, why is it important that this problem has to be addressed? Let us have an example and then analyze later on where are the three basic questions that we have discussed. So this is our example. The topic of this study focuses on exploring the ethical implications of artificial intelligence in autonomous vehicles. AI-driven technologies are increasingly integrated into various aspects of daily life, with autonomous vehicles poised to revolutionize transportation. Key issues and debates surrounding this topic include concerns over the ethical decision-making capabilities of AI, particularly in situations where more dilemmas arise. That's according to Johnson 2020. Another is questions regarding reliability or liability, safety, and the social impact of AI-driven vehicles remain contentious, according to Smith 2019. Understanding this ethical dimension is crucial because AI algorithms in autonomous vehicles will inevitably face complex scenarios where decisions impact human lives directly. Therefore, addressing these issues is essential for ensuring the responsible development and deployment of AI technologies in the automotive industry, safeguarding public trust and mitigating potential ethical pitfalls. From the example that we have given, let us try to pinpoint nasan yung statement doon about the question, what is the topic, what are the key issues or debates, and why is it important. So from this example, diniscuss ni researcher yung topic. At ang topic ay yung ethical implications of artificial intelligence in autonomous vehicles, wherein dinefine din ni researcher what is all about artificial intelligence in autonomous vehicles. Second, ilocate natin saan niya diniscuss yung key issues or debates. Particularly, eto yon: ethical decision-making capabilities of AI, liability, safety, and societal impact, kung saan si researcher naglagay siya ng mga references para makita kung saan nagmula yung mga sinasabi nating issues or debates. And lastly, why is it important? So we can see here na diniscuss ni researcher sa kanyang background that it's crucial for responsible development, public trust, and mitigating ethical challenges in the deployment of AI in autonomous vehicles. So kompleto yung tatlong questions para maggawa natin yung tinatawag na background of the study. Aside from starting with the basic questions of our research, so we can start our background of the study, second, let's outline the historical context. Kasi ang isa sa purpose ng background of the study ay magbigay tayo ng information historically, ano ba yung tungkol dun sa ating research. Meron akong example dito, and it says, online learning has gained prominence over the years, particularly accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Before the pandemic, online education was primarily seen as an alternative or supplement to traditional classroom learning. However, the global health crisis forced educational institutions worldwide to pivot to fully online or hybrid models, revealing both challenges and opportunities in virtual education. Key developments include advancements in digital learning platforms and shifts in pedagogical approaches and heightened focus on accessibility and equity in education. This example provides a brief overview of how your topic has evolved over time. So, sinasabi niya yung history, kung ano yung tungkol dun sa topic mo. It highlights key development or events na nag-i-influence dun sa current state of knowledge. It outlines the historical evolution, particularly on online learning, noting that its gradual rise before the COVID-19 pandemic as isang supplementary option dun sa traditional education. However, yung pandemic's impact, nag-compel siya para magkaroon ng rapid shift to online and hybrid models. Nire-reveal din ng kanyang background of the study yung both challenges and possibilities of virtual education while nag-a-advance tayo sa digital platforms. Ina-alter niya or change na yung pedagogical strategies natin para ma-emphasize yung educational accessibility and equity. So ito yung laman ng background of the study na yon. So yung una, kung nasagutan na natin yung basic questions, other than that, we have to consider i-discuss din natin sa background ng study natin yung outline historical context. Number 3, discuss relevant theories. Some other background of the study of other schools, sa format nila nakalagay na yung theories. But with some, theoretical framework is also separated. But if it is incorporated in your background of the study, you have to introduce any relevant theoretical frameworks or models na nagiging foundation ng study mo. Explain mo rin kung papaano tong theory na to nakakatulong para mag-guide ang iyong research questions. Pero if not, at hindi naman siya part ng background of the study base sa format ninyo, you can place the theory in your theoretical framework. Number 4, summarize previous research. I have another example here of how background of the study should be expressed when you summarize previous research relative to your topic. Previous research indicates mixed findings regarding the impact of online learning on students' academic performance. Some studies suggest that well-designed online courses can enhance student engagement and learning outcomes. This is according to Allen and Seaman and Means, 2009. However, challenges such as a digital divide, technological issues, and reduced social interactions have also been identified as potential barriers to effective online learning. This is according to Hodges et al. 2020. There remains a need for empirical research to explore the specific effects of online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic and identify areas for improvement. If we are going to look at the example that we have, it review the existing literature, and then this background of the study summarize the key studies or findings or debates related to the topic. It identified the gaps or yung mga areas where kailangan pa ng further research. Doon lalabas yung emphasis mo or yung explanation mo sa tinatawag nating research gap. Commonly, yung research gap tinitignan niyan ng mga panel members na nakalagay sa background of the study. So para ma-establish mo na kailangan talaga or there is a necessity to conduct your research, reflect that in your background of the study. Number 5, you have to highlight the practical relevance. So kung na-establish mo na sa mga previous research na meron talagang problema or meron gap na kailangan kang i-address dun sa iyong current study, i-discuss mo yung practical application or implications nito sa iyong research topic. Consider mo yung findings ng iba or ng findings ng research mo that could impact, example, a policy, a practice, or even the broader community. Number 6, keep it concise and clear. In making your background of the study, you have to focus on the most relevant information. Avoid unnecessary details or tangents. Ang aim mo kasi is clarity and coherence throughout discussing your background of the study. Commonly, it has only 2 to 3 pages, the same with the introduction. Lastly, connect to your study. I-articulate mo clearly bakit yung specific na study na ito ay importante or bakit siya necessary. Explain how it builds upon or contributes to existing knowledge. If all of these tips or these elements are not present in your background of the study, you cannot convince your panel members that a problem really exists and your study will answer that problem. I have made a simple example of background of the study. This is only very short. It's only for the purpose of discussion. So I have a title here, Who Am I Today? Stories of Gender Revelations. As you can see and read our first paragraph, and I am going to highlight it. Our first paragraph clearly discusses what is the topic all about. So our topic is all about gender, so it discusses all about gender. And then our second paragraph discusses the historical context of the topic under study. So particularly, diniscuss niya dito yung how the gender identity evolved through times. And then, the third one, as part of the elements, para makompleto ang iyong background of the study, ay yung tinatawag nating, you summarize previous research that will support your current problem or the gap that you wanted to fill. Again, this is only for the purpose of example, so I have here at least 3 researches or publication which has something to do with my topic. And then lastly, last part of my background of the study, as you can see, is that I highlight the importance or the practical relevance of my research paper. That if this will be conducted, there will be an output which will really help the respondents or the participants of the study. So this is only a very simple example of a background of the study. You can make your own depending on how you see it will be discussed as long as the elements are there. But commonly, you discuss first what is the topic all about, the historical context, and then you try to discuss or establish the previous research so that you have a evidence that the problem really exists. And then lastly, you discuss the practical relevance of conducting your research. If this video helps you, please like, share, and subscribe. And you can also share the
comments or your comments in the comment section. If you have question regarding making background of the study, kindly type it in our comment section and I'm very willing to answer all of your questions. Always remember, we unlock insights to empower your minds. Thanks for watching everyone. God bless and see you on our next lesson video.